Hello my friends and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 challenge run. Hope you're all doing well. Today we're playing Ghost with no ethereal weapons. Obviously the main advantage that Ghost gets is plus 10 damage with ethereal weapons, making them very powerful. But we're going to play without that. So whatever the first non-ethereal weapon we see, that's the weapon we're going to use for this run. I rolled randomly here, and we got Ghost Scepter as our starting weapon, which is also very bad. Ghost Scepter is much worse than either of the other two weapons to roll for the first wave, because not only will we make probably about 10 fewer materials than we would if we had one of the other two weapons, we also cannot get the bonus stats. And while it's only 1% damage or attack speed, it does add up. So we got 47 here. Now, we don't know if we're going to be using ranged or melee damage, or even engineering or elemental, so I'm not going to take damage at the start. I'm going to roll here looking for harvesting, and we'll take 5 harvesting. Okay, so we know we're using melee damage because the weapon that we're using is going to be the shuriken. Shuriken is kind of a tough one for us here, because it's not great at defending you, and we need to not take hits, otherwise we can die very quickly. I'll definitely lock a Peaceful Bee, and we'll roll. Gotta find more shurikens. Come on, game. Okay, we found another one. Unfortunately, I'm only gonna get 2, despite rolling such a cheap weapon, which is pretty unlikely, and very unlucky. I'm gonna lock the Lost Duck. I think that's good enough to lock, and then we will take another... We'll lock another shuriken. So we're gonna need... crit chance, we'll need melee damage. Shuriken is a ranged weapon, but scales off of melee damage, not ranged damage. At least it's pretty good for clearing wave 2, so we should make okay money. I'm gonna kill that tree as well. Didn't get a crate out of it, but not so bad. We can definitely do better than this. I'm gonna reroll one more time here. I missed a couple times, but I'm going to take 2 melee damage. We have a Peaceful Bee locked, so I need to be boosting my melee damage to avoid ending up damage negative. Roll one more time. If we hit a shuriken here, we get to buy it, which is great. So we managed to find 5. That's really good given that we had to sell our starting weapon. So very happy with that, and we had like no money. You can see there exactly what I was talking about, where we take a hit and we are 1 hit from death now. I took 6 damage from that attack, so up until I gained that extra health, I was 1 hit away from dying. Really nice to get that crate. Hopefully it has something good for us. Cute Monkey, we're very happy to grab. That's a good way to heal, and of course, it doesn't decrease our damage output because Shuriken scales off of melee damage. I'm going to take the crit chance here. You really need to prioritize crit chance when you're playing Shuriken because it doesn't bounce unless it crits. Take the 5 harvesting, and then I'm going to buy these 2 items. I'll pass on the garden. It's just too expensive, and I'm really rolling for Shurikens. Cauldron, probably worth grabbing. Gonna roll again. Do I want another Peaceful Bee here? It would decrease my damage back down to neutral, but the dodge is great and the harvesting is great, so I think we just take it. Kind of sad to miss on Shuriken that many times in a row. It's a precise weapon, which isn't the smallest weapon tag, but isn't the biggest either, so, and it's very cheap. But I can't complain too much with, we've gotten to 5 Shurikens already. Try to stay away from the lamprey and just bounce shots to it if I can. Although none of my attacks were bouncing to it, so just decided to change. I changed my mind and decided to start focusing it. Should be able to kill this tree while not losing too much clear speed because of the bouncing shots. Here, I'm going to take 6 max HP. I really want, like, any of these stats, but you have to have enough max HP to survive 1 hit, and when you're playing the Ghost, and when enemies do double damage, you just really need to invest very heavily into max health. Roll here, and I'll roll again. Do I take the charcoal? It's 2 melee damage. I think I'm going to roll again here. I'll take a bag. And I wouldn't have minded re-rolling one more time there, looking for a shuriken, but getting a bag early is always really good. So we're at 21 harvesting. We've got a bag, so our economy's in pretty good shape. We bought some luck as well. That buffed mantis shrimp is devastating, though. I have to be really careful about that, and the floater as well. The existence of the mantis shrimp on Abyssal Terrors with this weapon that does lots of small damage instances is really messing me up, so made almost no money that wave. I'll take another Peaceful Bee. I was gonna say I need to find some melee damage, but Peaceful Bee is very good here. Okay, a leveled up shuriken, that's exactly the kind of thing that we need. I'll take a Scar as well, and I'll roll one more time. Cute Monkey is great. Metal, without the armor, and costs us crit chance for a weapon that badly needs critical chance. I think we pass on the metal. I was going to roll one more time to see if I could lock a lower level shuriken or another item that we wanted, but we missed. We were off to a really good start, and then definitely gotten a little bit worse since then. Our shops have not been as kind to us as they were at the beginning. I badly need some attack speed as well. We have none, and that's part of what is putting me under so much pressure here. I don't want to go this way down to the south there, because all the pufferfish were there, and I was going to pop like 2 of them. It would have been really hard to dodge them all at once. I'm going to take 8% damage, and then we'll roll here. Is 5 attack speed worth taking, or do I roll for something better? I think I just need any attack speed, so I'm going to take the 5%. We'll combine by a shuriken. Another propeller hat is starting to get a little bit heavy on the economy items. And I can't buy both it and the cute monkey. I almost never pass propeller hat, and I think I won't here still, but it was very much worth thinking about. I will do 2 rerolls. I'll take a mouse. Increasing our number of enemies is a little dangerous, but lifesteal is how we want to heal on this bouncing weapon anyways. And obviously the economy boost is good once I get just a little bit more damage. And this level 3 shuriken went a long way towards that. I may wait a wave or 2 to buy the mouse, though, until I have just a little bit more base damage. Have to focus the healer down this wave. Kill that tree. Thought maybe I could kill that guy before it hit me. Okay, we got a lucky dodge there. Obviously would have died without that, but we're playing the ghost, so you do have to rely on dodges sometimes. The healer keeps taking a spin through and healing the walrus, so we're not able to kill it. And so it's putting me under a lot of movement pressure. Okay, great. 15 attack speed is massive for us. I will take the cute monkey. The mouse, do I grab that as well? I think our damage is too low right now. I could take Scared Sausage. It's a way to deal damage across the map. We have negative elemental damage right now. But it does help with our sort of spread out damage issue. I think, and I really don't want, I need more melee damage. I don't really want to buy the goat skull though, because lowering my crit chance is so bad. On the other hand, right now, we're not getting any base damage on our weapons, because my melee damage is only 3. I think I have to buy the goat skull. I think I will buy the Scared Sausage. We may not end up using it, but I think buying it is pretty helpful. I'll take a Peaceful Bee, and we'll take Claw Tree. Feather, I don't care about the ranged damage, but I need to buy dodge, so we'll buy the Feather anyways. Need to get more shuriken levels. That's kind of the other really important piece that we're missing. Scared Sausage is a bit of a spec pick there, because obviously it doesn't really do anything right now, but it does increase our damage output a little bit, and it'll work really well with there's a lot of items that it works really well with. Ice Cube, or Greek Fire, and of course, any random elemental damage that we get. We would also almost certainly buy a Frozen Heart on this character just for the crit chance, and the little bit of extra damage scaling, so having the scared sausage to make the elemental damage that we would get from that better. Isn't nothing. It's not that important, but it's not a terrible purchase either. So I could take 12%, or I could take 7 crit chance for more bounces. I could take 12% damage. I could roll for 6 melee damage, which would be pretty good as well. I think I need more bounces, though, so I'm just going to take the crit chance. And then we have to get our move speed back positive. Take the claw tree. Now I'll buy the mouse, we'll buy the feather, I'll reroll, get a shuriken here. Another scared sausage is kind of interesting, but I don't think I really need to lock a second one. I'm going to reroll that. Lost duck I will take, and eye patch works very well with this character. Just piercing is very good with the shuriken, so having the eye patch will help a lot. Alright, getting a little more base damage and 1 leveled up weapon there really helped. Obviously, I need to put a bunch of damage off on the hatcher, which will then bounce to everything else, so that helps. Just clear the wave. Need some more melee damage, basically, and then I think we're in okay shape. It's going to be hard to kill all of the eggs before they hatch, because we're starting to get a little overrun by the number of enemies on the field here. And that cursed slasher is pretty bad for us. I had to rely on getting a dodge there. We wouldn't have died if I had missed on the dodge, but we'd have been in much worse shape, of course. And you can see that that did indeed happen. Walked back into that attack. I couldn't move left, so I had to, again, just sort of hope for a 50% dodge, and we missed twice in a row. Alright, well, that was unfortunate. I think I just ended up... I think the second propeller hat was bad, the scared sausage was bad, the mouse was probably a little greedy as well, so I just got a little greedy there. We're gonna try again. Obviously, no guarantee that we get shuriken. In fact, it's very unlikely, but we'll try with a second weapon here. At least the Ghost's passive works on wave 1, where when a tree shows up like that, we still kill it. Because we do have the plus 10 bonus damage. Without that, we wouldn't be able to kill the tree, probably, with Ghost Scepter. So here I'm going to roll. Again, I'm looking for harvesting, but I'm just going to take 5 attack speed. Attack speed's going to be relevant sort of no matter what weapon we get. Alright, well, SMG is a strong weapon, of course, so we're always going to be happy to see that one. And let's roll. We'll take another SMG and roll. Roll again and lock another one. Lock a tree. Hedgehog as well, because with this weapon you just need maximum ranged damage. Sad about the shuriken run. Of course, this is still a pretty difficult run. SMG where you take double damage. We're playing on Abyssal Terrors, so the Mantis Shrimp are going to absorb a lot of damage. Enemy health is just going to be very high, and we're playing down economy because we had to sell our starting weapon. So it's certainly not a one run by any means, but definitely it's a good start to get a really strong weapon. But it's so easy when you're playing the Ghost to just get popped in the face and die immediately. I might try using a mod to force another Shuriken Ghost run, because that was a really fun run. This of course is going to be a really fun run as well. Let's roll here, and I'll roll again. I could take like dodge or lifesteal here, but I think rolling for ranged damage or harvesting is going to be better, and then we'll take 5 luck as well. I didn't want to re-roll too much there. Take the submachine gun, buy a hedgehog. I'm going to pass on small fish here. I will take a coffee. Peaceful Bee, obviously, is a lot worse when we're building ranged damage than melee damage, because melee damage you buy at a better rate. I feel like I needed to buy the Peaceful Bees last run, but maybe that also just sunk us, just lowering my damage too much. managed to get our per shot damage up to 4 here, which is a pretty big breakpoint for submachine guns. It really increases the speed at which you kill things. Getting cursed enemies is a little dangerous here. But curse is such a powerful mechanic. Okay, double crate there is really nice. That's very lucky. I will take the injection. We do need enough max health that we can survive 3 hits from enemies, but the extra damage matters a lot, and then, of course, we'll take the luck there. Take 8 harvesting, and nice. Level 3 SMG, I'm pretty happy with that. I'll do a reroll to see if we can find another one. Missed, but we'll take a propeller hat. Since this weapon is a little better at killing stuff, we can afford to buy the economy items a little better as well. So even though that was not the right play last run, it is the right play this run. So the mantis shrimp are putting a lot of pressure on us. Of course, they're absorbing a lot of damage. So I left a lot of materials on the ground, but that's okay. Losing dodge is very bad on this character, but weird food is still pretty good. I believe, have a lemonade locked, but we should still take the weird food. Let's roll here. Okay, we'll take 9 max HP. The 8 harvesting is also really tempting, of course, to get us to 21. But the level 3 upgrade to a stat that we desperately need, I think is very important. Roll here, and I'll roll again. I was looking for a submachine gun. I missed. Silver bullet, I think, is going to be very good. We're going to need to kill elites really fast, so we'll buy the silver bullet, though I may leave it locked for a few waves, since it obviously doesn't do anything until wave 14. But the main threat to this character is just getting 2-tapped by an elite. So you need enough HP that doesn't happen, and you need to kill the elites really fast. The other thing about shuriken as a weapon is that it still triggers the pufferfish, of course. So I would love a baby gecko, because we're leaving a lot of materials on the ground. That loot alien spawned with 5 seconds left in the wave, and we were just not able to focus it down. I could take 2 lifesteal here, but I feel like I can do better. I do want lifesteal, obviously, but I really need additional damage stats. I'll take 10 attack speed, and here I'm going to take 6 movement speed, because playing at negative movement speed is really bad. Very happy to take a fertilizer and a wheat. Increasing our harvesting matters a lot, and the wheat gives us 2 ranged damage. I'm going to pass on the garden, and I'm going to roll a couple times here. I was really hoping to find another submachine gun, but we missed. But we'll take lumberjack shirt and beanie. I gotta get a 6th gun, though. Game really does not want to give me my 6th weapon, and the reason for that is that usually you're going to find 5 or 6 weapons in the first 2 chops. And so the game is much less likely to just spawn weapons in later shops. Had to kill that cursed walrus before their musical stylings defeated us. The healers are also dangerous this wave, but much less of a priority than they were in the previous run. Yeah, we'll take a scar here. We're very happy with that. We'll take 6 max HP again so I don't get one shot, and then I'm going to buy all these items. I could buy the silver bullet for a free reroll. It would mean not buying an SMG if we roll into one, but I think just getting our shop slot back is more important, and we can lock this submachine gun. And then for 7, I'm not going to reroll here. We got our weapon, which is the thing that we would have been rerolling for. So the most important thing is just saving my money so that I can reroll our level ups, and we can buy relevant stats. What I'm really hoping for is a +3 ranged damage level up. This is level 10, so we're guaranteed to see a level 3. Piercing shots for our SMGs would be really nice as well. Yeah, so we're doing okay at killing things, except for the cursed enemies, which we're still struggling to take out. So I definitely need more damage. I'll take the jerky. That's a great way to heal. And then here, I'm going to re-roll. I'm looking for +3 ranged damage. The 9 HP is tempting, but I really want more damage output. 12% damage is a lot worse than 3 flat damage, but I think I'm going to take it here. And then I'm just going to take the 1 range damage over the 5 crit chance. SMG, you can still buy crit chance on this weapon, even though it has 1.5x crit damage, but our flat range damage is so low, I'm just going to prioritize that. Here, we're going to buy another level 2 SMG. We'll take an Ugly Tooth. That'll help against the elites. Sunglasses is worth buying. We don't care about losing the armor. And again, even though it has 1.5x crit damage, we attack so often, it's still a pretty huge increase to your DPS. Do I need another weird food? I do need to start building dodge eventually. We have +6 consumable heal, so I actually think we're going to pass on weird food for like the first time ever. I'll take a bandana though, because piercing shots are really good. That's certainly not the first time that I've passed weird food in a video, but I probably take that item, I don't know, a little over 99% of the time that I see it. On characters other than Golem. If you are not buying weird food every time you see it, then you are misevaluating the item. Consumable healing is incredibly powerful. Left a lot of materials on the ground there. I'm going to take 9 dodge. We do need to get to 90% dodge. That's one of the advantages that Ghost gets, and obviously we're not taking advantage of that advantage currently. Take 15 luck here. I'll take the bandana, tree, and sunglasses. Ice Cube is kind of interesting. We have no way to deal elemental damage right now, but if we got one, it would be useful. But I think we need to focus on core stats more. Very happy to see this small magazine. Do I buy that or the SMG first? I guess I'm going to lock the small magazine and buy the submachine gun, because when I reroll, we're more likely to see another submachine gun, and so I want to get one out of the shop to make another level 2 SMG likely to show up. A roll here, and we'll lock a level 1, and glass cannon, incredible. We really wanted that boost to our damage before we went into the horde wave, so very happy to see that, especially because I've decreased my percent damage a lot. So this run, everything is going very well for us currently. This is a really good example of how a powerful weapon can let you get away with much greedier purchases and makes the run much easier. When you play a weapon that is strong on the character, it's like 10 or 15 times easier than when you play a weak weapon on the character. And shuriken's not even like a particularly weak weapon compared to SMG. But just having a powerful weapon makes such a massive difference in how your character plays out. Now, I do need to get some lifesteal, because right now I have no healing at all other than our consumable healing. And that's a dangerous spot to be in. I'll take the Lost Duck here, and I'm going to re-roll this. I could take a ranged damage, but I feel like I can get a level 2 or higher upgrade. 3 lifesteal matters a lot, so we're going to grab that. Alright, we're going to level our weapons, take a glass cannon and a small magazine, and then roll, take a broken mouth or a whistle. We're not going into the horde wave yet, so I'm going to take the whistle over the broken mouth, but I probably would have bought the broken mouth if I was going into the horde wave, just to make us a little less likely to just get one-tapped. I'll take the hedgehog, but I'm not going to take metal detector, although it is worth a lot of money. Our economy is in very good shape. We have 44 harvesting, we have 46 luck. I just need enough damage to clear the horde wave, so I'm not going to decrease it by buying metal detector. Normally, metal detector is a good purchase going into a horde wave, but we're at the point where we're just looking to power up our character offensively and defensively. Thanks to the strength of SMG as a weapon, we were able to buy a lot of early economy. Now our economy is very stable, so we can transition into building our character up to the strength that we need to win the game. And the whistle paid off. We got a loot alien there. Obviously, no way to know if that was because of the whistle, but whenever I have a whistle, I just assume that any loot alien I get is because of it. Sharp bullet, I'm going to pass on. More piercing is good, but we already have 1 piercing, and decreasing our piercing down to minus 70% would be pretty bad, I think, so I'm going to pass on the sharp bullet here. I do want more move speed, so even at the cost of 3 crit chance, I am going to take the compass. We'll recycle boiling water, and then 3 ranged damage is exactly what I was hoping for. Take the broken mouth and hedgehog. I will still buy a fertilizer. Metal, 3 HP, 3 damage, and 3 speed. We lose 4 crit chance, which isn't that important on SMGs. I think I will take it. Obviously, the armor's not important at all. Boxing glove is kind of interesting. This is 6 knockback, which actually is a lot of knockback on a submachine gun. So I think I will buy the boxing glove going into the horde wave. I'll take a bone dice as well. And triangle of power, of course, we're going to buy. We don't intend to take hits on this character, so we need as much damage as we can get. All right, so this is one of the more dangerous points of the run, of course, the horde wave. Really need to kill any enemies that create projectiles as quickly as possible, because if too many of those stack up, then we can get overwhelmed between dodging the projectiles and dodging the actual horde enemies. I'm very glad also that this is not a wave with pufferfish, because they just make playing against a horde so much more dangerous when you're using a ranged weapon anyways. The boxing glove is actually really doing very well for us here. It's keeping these enemies at bay while we slowly tick them out. Trying to pick up some materials here. We're going to leave a lot on the ground, but I do need to continuously get stronger, so I'm trying to pick up as many as I feasibly can without putting myself in too much danger. Take a dangerous bunny. I'm going to take 6 dodge here. I need to increase my dodge, and then we're going to re-roll this. More attack speed is not that important on submachine guns. You need the first few points of attack speed because due to an animation thing, it increases your DPS, but very disproportionately. But later points of attack speed on SMGs are less valuable. That said, it might still be better than 5 crit chance, and maybe I don't find anything better, so I think I'm just going to take the attack speed here. Take a bone dice. Triangle of power will grab. Adrenaline I will take. Fairy is a lot of regeneration. It's probably worth it. I'll buy the fairy, I think. Insanity costs me some damage. Crit chance is not that important, so I'm going to pass on it, but we'll buy the mutation and the SMG. Go to the next wave. Fairy will help us get our healing to the point where we're very likely to heal back to full in between taking hits, and that's the main thing that you need on the Ghost. We will not have enough damage to survive enough health to survive 2 hits from the Elite. So I need to be extremely careful next wave, because we don't have very high dodge, and the Elite will 2-tap us. Normally on the Ghost, you're not that likely to take 2 hits in a row. It's only a 1 in 100%. a 1 in 100 chance because you will have 90% dodge. But on this character, because we're using guns and because we haven't managed to find that much dodge, our dodge is still very low for the Ghost. Trying to pick up some materials again, and then here, the Insanity in a box we will take, and I'll take 9 max HP to make it a little less likely we die in one hit. Take all of this shop, and then do a reroll. Incendiary turret, I'm going to pass on. Metal, I don't really need the percent damage because we have bone dice building that. Our percent damage is a lot better. So I'm going to pass on the metal now. Decomposing flesh costs me max HP, but gives us a lot of lifesteal, so I will take that, and I'll do one more reroll here, and we'll lock a submachine gun. A sharp bullet would give me a unique item for fairy, but for the same reason as I passed it last time, it's still not good. So we're going to try to kill the elite really fast here. Now, our damage output against it is not great at the moment. Really trying to focus it, but we're still not killing it very quickly. And this stage is fairly hard to focus damage on it, because between the enemies and its attacks, our movement is quite constrained, so trying to keep damage on the elite is very tough. Got back to full health before I went back to fight it again. Pick up 2 consumables there. Very happy that we have all of this consumable healing in the jerky. Looks like I will not be able to finish off the elite, probably, so I'm just going to back away from it. Was really hoping that I could kill it, but taking that hit early in the fight just made things too dangerous, and we're always one hit from death on this character, so you just have to play very cagey. We'll take the spyglass because it showed up in a box, take the SMG, and we'll combine by another SMG, and then reroll, lock an SMG. I'll take the focus as well, and I'll roll again. Turret would give me another regen, but other than that is pretty worthless, and we're going to focus on lifesteal over regen, so I'm going to pass on the turret. I should get 2 levels this wave, which will be 2 more lifesteal. Even though we have the fairy is really just... we don't need to buy random level 1 items for it. Because our healing is very good thanks to playing submachine guns. That's one of the things that's so great about this weapon. That's also one of the reasons that this run is not the best run for submachine gun, because healing matters less on the Ghost, because you just die in 2 hits a lot of the time anyways. Now, once we have tons of healing and a lot more dodge, then the healing will be very relevant. But in the early stages of this run, it doesn't matter if we heal because we're dead in 2 hits no matter what. So having a lot of healing just hasn't been that important. We'll take a barnacle here. Definitely want to increase our stats from level ups. And then let's take 8 HP. I really need to boost my HP, and we'll take 12 dodge as well. Getting towards dodge cap matters a lot. I'll take the fishhook and submachine gun and focus, and then we'll reroll. A coil is actually very good. We need more percent damage, and more knockback is kind of nice. I could take the black belt to go with it, but I think we still don't want that. Clover and jelly, though, I'm going to lock. The jelly could be plus 2 HP and a regen, and that's a worthwhile item to buy. And the clover, of course, gives us dodge, and we have fishhook, so I'm incentivized to lock stuff. The black belt, we don't need the XP gain. It would be 3% damage from the coil, or a little more if I got the black belt cursed, but... or either of them cursed, I guess. But I still think it's not worth locking just for the small percent damage that it gives, and it costs luck and everything as well. %60 dodge is a lot more comfortable, but I won't be happy until we hit 90. And you can see that our damage output is still not incredible. It's enough that we're clearing the wave, but we are having a hard time killing high health enemies, and they're still putting some pressure on us. Really need just more flat ranged damage as well. Trying to kill a few of those curse aliens, still leaving a lot of materials on the ground. We're recycling the plastic explosive. Obviously, our fishhook did nothing. I'll take the clover and the foil. I guess I'll leave the jelly locked and I'll reroll. Lock a gambling token, of course, and reroll again. Another spyglass won't have time to pay off. You really need to buy spyglass on exactly wave 16 for it to be good. And the shady potion... I feel like luck at this point is actually not what we need. I just need to find damage, so I'm going to roll again there. With Spyglass and Bone Dice, we are somewhat incentivized to just reroll very aggressively. So, and with a Fishhook as well. Killing that tree for a crate there. Very nice. This wave is okay, unless, as almost happened there, too many cursed lampreys spawn from a blobfish at once, and then we could be in a little bit of trouble. I will say that I've bought a lot of curse, and we have not gotten many cursed items, although the cursed boxing glove is being very helpful. We'll take the feather here. Okay, amazing. 5 ranged damage. That's exactly what we needed. That will put us in great shape. I will still take 2 HP here. We'll take the gambling token going up to 81 dodge. Blood Leech, I do need more lifesteal, so I am going to buy the Blood Leech. And I'll take a penguin because it can be a bunch of regen. Dangerous Bunny, I don't need to lock at this point, but I do... Yeah, I guess none of these stats are good. Maybe I should have rerolled there just to get fishhook value, but I think we're okay. Alright, so this elite, also very hard to run away from. But our damage output is a lot better because we got that barnacled level 4 ranged damage. So that +5 ranged damage alongside a bunch of other stats that we got let us kill the elite really fast. So that was nice. Did you see that? Cursed Stargazer just getting shoved away because we have the boxing glove. Still have to be pretty careful this wave. We could still die in 2 hits. There's a lot of cursed enemies on the field. There's a lot of buffed enemies on the field. And the pufferfish can still just one-tap you, even when they're not bugged. You can see there, those 2 pufferfish actually put a lot of pressure on our movement. I'll take the feather here, very happy with that. The night goggles cost me 3 HP and 3 regen, but the 15% crit chance is pretty relevant. And the 50 range isn't awful. It does give us a little bit more leeway playing around the bosses. We'll take 12 speed so I can stay ahead of them. Take the gentle alien here. Insanity, still don't think we need to buy the Insanity. Sif's Relic is such a fun item, but doesn't really do anything for us. The 3 armor is wasted, and we're only wave 19. So I would be spending 300 materials to pick up, like, maybe 100 at maximum extra materials. It doesn't seem like a good prospect to me. Fin, I do need more lifesteal, so I'll buy that, and we'll lock the baby elephant. I guess I should actually have done that the other way around. I should have bought the baby elephant and locked the fin, so we could maybe have gotten a cursed fin. Boss wave is going to be tough still. Our damage is good, but not enough to just flatten the bosses. And while I've gotten to pretty solid dodge, we're not at 90%, so... Still always a danger of just getting popped. And you can see here that, again, our damage output is solid. We're clearing these high health enemies pretty effectively, but... Okay, got a lucky dodge there. Definitely want to kill this loot alien. I also really want to pick up the materials in the center of the wave here, so I'm going to try to clear space to do that. If not, then I'm going to wait until we have like 3 seconds left in the wave and then rely on our dodge to try to pick up a couple. So I left 100 on the ground, a little more than I wanted, but obviously still better than buying the Sif's Relic. I'm going to pick up the coupon here just for the regen. Peaceful Bee we're going to recycle. 20% more attack speed will help us kill the bosses faster, and the baby elephant, I actually didn't really need to pick this up. I don't know how much this helps against the bosses here, so I think I'm actually going to pass on it. I shouldn't have locked that at all. We'll take the wheat, because additional ranged damage, very good. I'll roll here, and roll again. Oh, the Gatling laser! That would have been so helpful, if I was allowed to buy it, which of course we are not. The cape would have been amazing as well, especially if that got cursed and the baby with a beard, but I think I'm just going to take the lure, 2 regen, but also, more importantly, 2 consumables, which can heal us up. Very helpful. Alloy, I would have tried to get cursed, and SMG, of course, would have been nice if that got cursed as well, but here we are. We're on the boss wave. Let's see if we can kill the shark boss before I die to their damage output. Okay, got a couple dodges there. Obviously, with 80% dodge, that's not that unlikely, but we have taken 3 hits so far. Got another % dodge, but now that the octopus boss is dead, or now that the shark boss is dead, excuse me, the whale boss, just naming random sea creatures. Now that the whale boss is dead, the dangerous enemies on the field are significantly lessened, so I can play a little closer in. And there we go. We got there. A little disappointing not to get there with shuriken, but I still really enjoyed playing the run with submachine guns, and it was still a pretty challenging run. Definitely Ghost with non-ethereal weapons is just a really difficult run. You're always on edge, because you can always just get popped in a single hit with pretty much anything, so you have to be very, very careful. Taking a look at our items, I'm pretty happy with how we bought items. The silver bullet didn't work out for wave 14, but made wave 18 and 20 so much easier. And then the ugly tooth and bandana helped a lot as well. I would have liked to get more flat ranged damage and more % damage, but the shops just weren't there. And we ended up with kind of low economy because we didn't get that much that increased our economy. No bag. We had good harvesting, but other than that, we didn't get bags. We didn't get hunting trophy. We didn't get black flag or anything like that. So we were playing a little bit on lower money than most characters would be. Overall, though, fairly clean run, and we got there in the end, so I'm pretty happy with that. As always, my friends, if you have enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, my friends. I'll catch you next time.